LETECIA STAUCH was back in court on March 12th, 2021, but before we get into that, let's go over the papers that were made public on that date as well, as they kind of explain and give background for what happened in court on March 12th and what was going on in court on March 5th, beginning with P21, People's Motion for Protective Order, and that, of course, is filed by the prosecution. The people will be providing discovery directly to the defendant and will require her signature memorializing her receipt of items delivered. Discovery may include investigative reports, audio and video recordings, surveillance video, photographs, criminal history reports, social media records, email records, cell phone records, and other forms of discovery. Discovery in this case contains various types of identifying and contact information for witnesses. This information includes names, dates of birth, social security numbers, addresses, email addresses, telephone numbers, social media account details, and driver's license numbers. And the people may also submit out-of-state and interstate subpoenas to the court that would include a witness's address and potentially other known contact information. And if there is an in-custody witness, the people will submit a writ to transport that person for testimony, and such a writ would contain the person's custodial facility. So that kind of explains what they were talking about wanting to redact the information before it was given to LETECIA. And so they were asking for that, and then they go on to say the defendant, throughout the investigation and including subsequent to her arrest, has proven to be a flight risk. The defendant has also made an attempt to escape from custody during transport from South Carolina that required a physical struggle to get her under control. The defendant has also solicited people inside and outside of jail to assist her efforts to escape from custody. As a result of the defendant's actions and the severity of the charges that have been filed against the defendant, the people request that the court issue a protective order allowing the people to redact identifying and contact information from discovery that is provided directly to the defendant. And then they also requested that if they provide unredacted discovery to her advisory council, that he be ordered not to share any identifying information with LETECIA. And that motion was granted. And then P22 is People's Motion for Terms regarding evidence viewing. And they're getting ahead of the game and saying that they want to object to any request that LETECIA might make to have a confidential viewing of the evidence. They want to maintain the chain of custody and the integrity of the evidence. So they want to make sure that when she views that physical evidence, that a representative of the district attorney's office or a representative of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office be present. And that was also granted. P23, People's Notice regarding pro se discovery. So this is specifically about LETECIA representing herself and discovery being the evidence against her. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has specific policies regarding access to the law library and have informed the people that no paper discovery will be allowed in the Criminal Justice Center per EPSO law library protocols. All materials must be digitalized per EPSO, and the people will comply with this requirement. The people have attached a memorandum to this notice, titled Attachment A, which was prepared by Lieutenant Michael Pitt regarding the defendant's access and use of the law library while at the CJC. The timeline for compliance with discovery obligations is dependent on the court's ruling regarding the people's request to redact contact and identifying information of the witnesses found in discovery. Further, the people asked the court to advise the defendant regarding defense discovery obligations. And I do believe that was about the fact that in court last time, LETECIA said that she had evidence that would exonerate her, and I believe she needs to disclose that to the prosecution if she has that. They also want her reminded of the order regarding pretrial publicity that was issued last year. And finally, the reason why they were back in court on the 12th is this one, which was filed on March 5th after the court appearance. Motion to reconsider the court's order to allow defendant to keep paper copies of discovery in her cell. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office, by and through their undersigned counsel, hereby move this court to reconsider the order to allow defendant LETECIA STAUCH to keep paper discovery in her cell at the El Paso County Criminal Justice Center, CJC, and ask for an opportunity to be heard further on the issue. In support of their argument, El Paso County Sheriff's Office stated the following. On March 3rd, 2021, Attorney Josh Tellini, that's her advisory counsel, delivered between 1,400 and 1,800 paper pages of discovery to CJC to be provided to Ms. Stauch. On March 5th, 2021, the court held a hearing in which EPSO expressed significant concerns over the safety and security of allowing Ms. Stauch to keep voluminous paper discovery materials in her cell. The district attorney also stated that the total amount of discovery in the case was 26,101 pages at present count. The court issued an order that the case core of 1,400 to 1,800 pages was to be redacted by the district attorney's office and provided to Ms. Stauch in her cell for review. EPSO maintains that providing excessive amounts of paper material to inmates at CJC presents significant concerns for the safety of the inmates, safety of staff, and security at the facility. Allowing Ms. Stauch to keep this amount of paper material in her cell would be a significant departure from normal security policies and protocols at CJC. Counsel for EPSO did not become aware that this specific issue would be addressed in the hearing on March 5th until the hearing had already commenced. EPSO did not have an opportunity to provide statements from officials at CJC addressing specific security concerns and to offer solutions that would address safety and security at CJC. Wherefore, for the reasons said above, EPSO respectfully requests that the court reconsider its order to allow Ms. Stauch to keep paper copies of discovery in her cell and to allow EPSO the opportunity to be fully heard on the matter. It was no surprise to find out on March 12th that LETECIA still has not gotten the materials. So, an attorney representing El Paso County Jail was at the hearing. DA Michael Allen did not appear in person. His assistant appeared via WebEx. LETECIA was sitting at the defense attorney's desk next to her advisory counsel. The attorney representing El Paso County Jail said that they did not feel that security concerns of the jail were adequately addressed last week when the judge postponed the hearing, giving LETECIA additional time to review the evidence and ruling that she receive a hard copy of the case core. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office said that LETECIA was a high flight risk and that she has solicited other inmates to use common items that were found in the jail to break windows. And they said that they'd object to allowing Ms. Stauch to have access to paper material outside of the 1,800-page redacted case core, and instead, for security reasons, they're asking that digitalized versions are provided to her on a thumb drive. They said that additional paperwork outside of the case core has been delivered to LETECIA at the jail, and then her advisory counsel explained that he brought her fewer than 100 pages of case law to help her prepare for the case. So then Judge Werner said that LETECIA needs to have a hard copy of the 1,800 pages of core information in order to prepare for the May 20th hearing, and that the remaining discovery, which is about 26,000 pages in total, can be placed on a digital drive and accessed in the jail's law library. And here's a quote from him. "It doesn't seem to be, in light of the fact that we are talking about 1,800 pages, that's burdensome on the jail. It doesn't seem to me that is something Ms. Stauch should only be allowed to review 4 hours a week in the law library." And Judge Warner said that LETECIA can have access to as much paperwork that can fit in her designated 12-inch by 18-inch by 24-inch property box, which each inmate has at the jail. And LETECIA asked the judge several different questions throughout the hearing, and she expressed concern about being restrained in the jail's library, explaining that it would be challenging for her to use a computer. And so a sheriff's office commander said that she'll not be in full restraint while she's in the library. LETECIA is going to be allowed two-hour sessions in the law library a week, so 4 hours a week in the law library. And that she has not been to the law library yet because she didn't have any material to review, so she didn't have anything to do there. The judge told the courtroom that LETECIA wrote him a letter with a few claims that the jail wasn't letting her have an attorney, and so he was asking her again if she intends to represent herself, and apparently the letter had been written before she was granted the right to represent herself. And so she just said, yeah, she still wants to represent herself. Then the assistant from the district attorney's office said that they didn't know that LETECIA was sending a letter and they want to see the letters, but it's sealed right now. So the judge ordered that letters from LETECIA be unsealed, and then he reminded LETECIA that any notes that she now sends are public record. She's her own attorney, so anything she sends is public record. And the judge said that the DA's office can check their document site for anything else like that, and if they want notification, tough luck, just refresh the page like he does. The judge said that if things aren't working as they should for LETECIA getting discovery by next week, they have to meet again. In the meantime, the preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 20th, and I know some people have mentioned a March 29th court date, and I believe that date is regarding her divorce from Al Stauch. Thank you for watching another Day in the Car with Julez.